this is an Oxford-wide issue in terms of where the college system fails students from low-income backgrounds. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video was requested on Instagram a few weeks ago by like 4 or 5 people, and I completely forgot to do it until I received an email of a really lovely American student called Caitlin asking me to answer a few questions about Archaeology and Anthropology as a course and what she should need to know before applying there. Basically, this video is going to be me talking about the breakdown of the Oxford Archaeology and Anthropology course, what I've liked about it, what I've maybe not liked about it, what might be better at other universities in the UK. Yeah, basically spilling the tea on my degree. I think I might have just stolen someone's catchphrase. So my course is both archaeology and anthropology, and I chose this course because I really wanted to do the human side of archaeology. I was less interested in the buildings and kind of the physical stuff that classics tends to cover, but was really interested in how archaeology has changed as a discipline, with anthropology beginning and like ethnography, and how it's kind of morphed into the discipline it is today. So other universities that I was looking at, which if you're subscribed you probably know already, if not, subscribe, are Nottingham, which was a straight archaeology course and an archaeology course with geography. I was also looking at York for straight archaeology and bioarchaeology, as well as Preston's University UCLan, which was actually a really good archaeology and anthropology course, same as Oxford, just not theoretical, so it was almost completely practical, and it was only CBB, I think, or BCC, but I still thought that it was a really good university. I didn't judge the universities that I looked around based on the grades. I judged it on how good the course was. So yeah, that was in my top 5, and I still feel like it would have been a great place for me to go. Manchester was my last option. I did really like the course there, but lived far too close, so in the end I don't think I would have chosen it well, I didn't. Basically, the Oxford Archaeology course is split into first year and then final honours school, which is second and third year. It's only a 3-year course. A lot of people go on to a master's after that in various things, including scientific areas of archaeology or museum studies. The first year is 4 core modules. You don't do any option choices in first year, which at the time seemed a bit rubbish, but looking back on it, it's the solid knowledge of the history of the discipline, the kind of core scholars that really got the disciplines going, and it does help with a ground knowledge of theory. There wasn't a lot of anthropology, it was a lot more archaeology based, but that is changing. They've already changed one of the modules. My year was the first year to do that, to include both archaeology and anthropology, and they're getting more and more into the essays being a mixture of both what you've learned from archaeology and anthropology, despite being on either Arc or Ant paper, which is good because they're really intertwined, and I don't think you could actually have one without the other personally. In Hilary term of first year, you will choose your options, so you have 3 options. You do 1 in second year and 2 in third year, along with again 4 core modules. So in the end you're doing 7 different modules, have 7 exams. In first year, when I chose my options, I was really excited to see how much of a scope there was for me to do. There's like 30 options. They've got more modern archaeology like Anglo-Saxon period, medieval Europe, health and medicine. They've got really old parts of archaeology like human evolution. They've got evolution of health, farming and early societies in sub-Saharan Africa. They've got all the classics modules like Rome, Greece, Egypt, Hellenistic art, Japanese society. Much more anthropology modules, like there's a language module. There is Lowland South America, medical anthropology. There was anthropology of the body as well. I don't know if that's still running. physical anthropology, science-based methods, themes in African anthropology, museums and collections. There is so many things that you, like, I was spoilt for choice. It took me so long to decide and whittle down what I wanted to do because they were absolutely incredible. Like, you get this little book, that's what I'm reading now, and it tells you a course breakdown of all the different options, and it was hard to choose, basically. Yeah, that was very impressive. So major thumbs up to Oxford for that. In third year, which is what I'm going into now, you finish off your core modules, so I've actually only got half a core module left to do this year. I do my 2 other option choices and my 13,000 word dissertation, which is due in March maybe, or the first week in March.
90% of the time I have no idea what the I'm talking about.
So you have quite a long time. You're expected to do as much research as possible over the summer holidays from second year to third year, and then keep researching alongside your work in first term. Then over Christmas, you're ideally meant to like do a first draft, but I think most people will just have like a really strong plan and then some bits a bit worded out by then. Then you've got a whole nother term where you've just got an option paper, so it goes from 2 essays a week to 1 essay a week, and your dissertation alongside it, basically. So yeah, it's like it's gonna be stressful, but I'm quite excited to be doing exactly what I wanted to do throughout the whole of 2 last years. So I've split the next bit into like my opinions of the lectures, the tutorial system, exams, and then just like overall thoughts. So it's got a bit of structure to it, but if I ramble about something else, then I apologise. So lecture-wise, if you watch my first year review video, you will see that I didn't go to many of them because I wasn't used to the amount of essays that we got thrown straight in to do, and took most of my time writing those essays and reading for those essays, preparing for my exams that way, that a lot of the time I missed the lecture. And so it ended up being a bit restricting in terms of how much content that I could learn. But if you organise your time well enough, which maybe I didn't in retrospect, you should be fine. Two years on, I've realised that it's more helpful to get the reading done and to get like a 1,000 word essay and a basic argument kind of planned out than to stress about the reading, spend so much time trying to get the reading that you end up with just notes and you haven't gone to the lectures either. It's really unhelpful. Plus as well, if you've got a terrible essay because you just don't get it, it's more important to spend more time trying to understand than to read all of the content, if that makes sense. So one of the questions I was asked was, do you need to do anything to prepare for this jump? And I didn't really. I guess because I just had 7 years of school and really big exams and wanted a nice summer. But some people had done some pre-reading. Most people hadn't. They just got like their A-level knowledge. And for me personally, sociology A-level was the most useful one that I could have done, because a lot of the themes, the terminology, the sociologists who are actually anthropologists, they were all already in my brain. So I had a baseline which helped me transition into anthropology, which is why I think I did so much better in anthropology than archaeology, despite not going to many of the lectures, because I already had a base knowledge. Whereas archaeology, I was just coming in from nothing, basically. In second year, lectures get much more necessary, so I genuinely don't think that I could do how well I did in first year without lectures now. It wouldn't work. The content is just so much more dense and new, and there's terminology, you can get to ask questions. It's just so much more coherent to have the lectures, because they're usually in chronological order or like place order in terms of where in the world they're talking about, and it just really helps. Unfortunately, in first term, because I was ill quite a lot and also had essay pressure, like 2 essays a week, it just meant that I missed a lot. So I found myself this summer going back over first term, and one thing about studying archaeology at Oxford is that if you're ill for 2 weeks and haven't put 100% in for 2 weeks, that's a quarter of the term gone, which you've then got to try and make up in your own time. Thankfully, in third year, the same lectures run from second year usually, so I am going to be able to go back and like fill in the gaps by going to the lectures again. You might think at the time in second year, oh, I can just go again next year, but then you're going to be so much more stressed in third year. And do I really want to be going to these lectures? Am I realistically actually going to go? No, probably not, because I'm going to have even more work to do than last year. So yeah, basically just don't coast in second year. You don't have exams, you might feel like you've got nothing to do, but you do, and your future self will thank you. The tutorial system, I've said this before, honestly, it is fab. It is how you learn. It's like one-on-one, literally like a tutoring session, and they'll always understand if you're being overworked, if you're being underworked. They can tell if you're ill and something's wrong, and they're almost like, because you have specific tutors at your college as well as like wider university ones that might do your option paper, and the ones at your college are almost like pastoral and welfare as well as your subject, and they're always your point of call if you have been to the nurse and the nurse wants to send an email to say that you need to like slow the pace down for the next few days. Then they'll be fine with it. They'll take the email, they'll probably call you in for a meeting, give you a chat, see if you need any help, any extra support. And that's all because the tutorial system is so close-knit that they actually really know who you are and want to push you as an individual and not just get the best grades for the cohort possible. The tutorial essays in the final honour school are much more directed by you. So in first year, you get an essay title and you do that essay title, whereas in the FHS modules, if that essay title kind of doesn't make perfect sense to you, if you think it would be more useful to maybe change it slightly, you can email that tutor and see if they think that, yeah, if you send them an example way to change the question, they might let you do that. Also, sometimes we've just been given a subject and asked to build an essay out of it and make the title of ourselves. We've just been given like a brief, and then we could come up with like quirky titles, subtitles. I find that's more fun, and it's more motivating to do like your own research and come up with your own like project, as opposed to having to do exactly what the tutor wants you to do. I was also asked about fieldwork. So I think this is the most asked question that I get, both by people online and like friends and family who ask about my course. And you really don't do much at all. If you want to do fieldwork, if that's what you want to do with your degree, like practicals and fieldwork, then Oxford is not the place for you. You get to do 5 weeks after first year. The first 2 weeks are incredible. Like, the uni takes you for free to a dig, you camp there, you dig all day. It's really nice. Like, it doesn't discriminate between rich students and poor students. Everyone gets to go on it for free. Your meals are all paid for. It's incredible. Like, you even get like dinner in a pub. Whereas the next 3 weeks, the next 3 weeks for me are frustrating. And this isn't just an issue in the archaeology department. This is an Oxford-wide issue in terms of where the college system fails students from low-income backgrounds.
The tea is exceptionally good today.
In terms of, if you go to a college that's got a really good reputation, as in it's really old, it's got loads of money, it's basically, if it's got assets, then they can give you travel grants, which means you can travel basically anywhere across the world and do your fieldwork there, and you won't have to worry about the cost of it. Whereas If you go to a smaller college that doesn't have all these assets, you've got to fund it yourself. Like, yeah, okay, the archaeology department gives you £200 and that, well, you need it. So I only went to the local museum, 20 minutes on the train. I had to use the whole £200 for train fare because it was peak. So that I was thankful for that, but the reason I went to the museum is because I couldn't afford to do anything else. My family can't afford to pay for me to go to Peru for 3 weeks. It's just, I don't know many people whose family could do that, and I certainly don't have the money to do it myself as a student. Colleges will say that, oh yeah, we can get loads of students in and it's great and we do all these outreach projects, but access in terms of financial support in like grants and just handing out money stops on admission. Yeah. It's even more annoying that people from like low income backgrounds or less Oxfordy backgrounds just wouldn't know which college to choose because of that. They'd pick a college that probably has more state school students or more ethnic minority students or whatever, and they would completely miss that. Ran over, okay. Oh no, my battery. In terms of exams, I've only ever done one set of exams, which is the mods exams after first year. I've talked about this already in my first year review, but yeah, basically you're in this amazing building, it's really old, they're purpose built for exams, you're a stupid outfit, but also it feels authentic. And yeah, it's intimidating, but it's great, and they're exams. Nobody likes them, but they happen. They're a fact of life. Overall, it's a very, very diverse course in terms of choice available. The final honours school modules are great, they're all taught by world-leading scholars. Most of your readings by these scholars, you discuss their reading in person with them, and because of that, the opportunities and connections that you can get out of it is, I would say, probably on par with Cambridge, like the best in the country. And good student support can be got when asked for. That's a big issue. So the support is there if you reach out for it. But one of the things with Oxford is it makes you feel like you shouldn't have support. So it's the whole like, oh no, you need to be independent, you need to do all this work, you've got constant streams of work, some tutors don't help, others are really nice about it. You can just get to the point where you think, but everyone's in this boat, why should I need support? I just need to learn to cope better. And it makes you get stuck in this net of just negativity and not doing very well, and that's how you end up with a really bad mindset. Yeah, basically reach out for help and you will get it. Particularly from the undergraduate rep for archaeology is such a star. Robin, I know you watch my videos, this is a shout out to you, you are incredible. The lack of practical stuff I've already discussed. This is increasing, like we are getting more workshops, more like random 2-hour sessions where we're actually looking at bones. It's just, I don't think it's enough. This is because Oxford in general is a very theoretical university and practicals aren't as big here as they are at other places. We could have regular labs, we could have regular technique sessions in terms of like troweling and digging and identifying artifacts. I guess it's like cost, room space, will people actually turn up? We've got such a small cohort that if just 2 people don't turn up to a session where it's split into 3, so there's like 6 people, then is it worth it for that tutor to give up their time? Yeah, so my battery is about to die. I haven't written anything else down on like my prompt sheet, so I'm gonna stop there. If you have any questions that I haven't covered, I haven't answered, then please do message me directly on Instagram at justthelittleroo, or tweet me or DM me on Twitter at justthelittleroo. Again, you can comment, that's perfectly fine, or even email. My email is attached to my Instagram, so that's fine, I will answer you on there too. So for those of you who are maybe applying this year for Arch and Anth, then good luck. Your personal statements should be nearly in by now, but yeah, super good luck from me. Well done for choosing such a good course. Those of you who might want to apply in the future, do it. Like, apply elsewhere as well, but what are you going to lose by applying to Oxford too? So, my camera battery died and I've just had to charge it for like 15 minutes before I could film this. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Remember to subscribe if you want more content, and yeah, bye bye, I'll see you in my next video.